All right, did you just get yourself a Blackstone griddle for Father's Day or any other reason just for the summer? Let's talk about what accessories we need right now to get our griddling adventure started. So Walmart has the largest array of accessories available to you. As you can see here, there's an entire, I call it the Blackstone section. Lots of stuff to choose from. I'm going to tell you first things first, the number one thing you need is a set of spatulas. There are a lot of different kinds you can choose from here. There's some generic brand, there's some Blackstone, they have these longer, thinner brand type and different things, but I really like this particular set right here, which is the Signature Collection Blackstone spatula. These are heavy duty, they really hold up, they can be used as scrapers, and they have those nice handles right there with the bottle opener on the end. So we're going to go ahead and throw those right in our cart right there. You could, of course, get one of these professional griddle kits that kind of get you started. They have some squirt bottles and they have some uh, spatulas that don't have quite as nice of a handle, but they work. They're just as heavy duty as those other ones, and it comes with a scraper. So that's not a bad way to start if you want to do that. Those are not my favorite bottles, though. Those tend to leak quite a bit. So when you look at squirt bottles down here, you could get a bigger size of that same style. Some people really like these because it's the twist open, twist close. But like I said, they can tend to kind of leak for me. My favorite are these square bottles. And these square bottles, you have a lid on them, so you can take the lid right off, and then they don't leak when you tip them over or whatever, and you can actually just squeeze them and they squirt out that tip there. So those are my personal favorite, and they fit really nicely on your shelves because they're that square style. Um, so I would suggest that you get a couple of these, at least one for oil and at least one for water. So I'm going to throw a couple of those in the cart as well. I would also highly recommend getting some of these grease cup liners. Just got a brand new griddle. These are really good for that grease cup in the back, so that you can just throw out the old grease as opposed to constantly having to clean out that grease cup. So the last thing I would say that is an absolute necessity to get started with cooking on the Blackstone would be a good griddle scraper. They have this kind. I have this one myself. It's nice, easy to handle, small. It's really all you need. They have this larger one that has all these cleaning attachments and stuff to it. This is really unnecessary unless you're really planning on doing like a restoration on your griddle top. You might want it eventually, but this is not what you need right away. You really just need a basic scraper like this one. You can see that this scraper is going for $10. It kind of matches those spatulas, but really, this one right here, the cheaper one, while it looks a little cheaper and it feels just a little bit flimsier, might be my favorite scraper out of all the scrapers. It really does a nice job of scraping. It's got that nice wide scraper on there, and the flimsiness of it actually helps with the scraping. You don't really need something super, super strong and heavy duty. You need something that's going to actually kind of like contour to the griddle top and allow you to scrape all the little bits off without damaging the seasoning that you put on the griddle top. So this is my personal favorite, so I'm going to get one of those right there. Now, if you just want to play and just buy some stuff just to have some fun on your griddle, of course you could go with some egg rings. They have a lot of different variety here. They've got this newer set that has the square omelet ring, which is really nice. They have this larger 6-ring egg ring set. They have this set over here, which is actually my personal favorite, where you've got the 2 different shapes of individual egg rings, and it comes with 8 on there, and they have the little handles that you put down. I use these quite a bit for my egg rings just because I can move them around the griddle and I don't have to worry about like putting out a mat of 6 of them or something like that, and I can just put out what I need when I need it. And I have a couple different shapes, like Egg McMuffin shape or on a slice of bread shape. So really, I think this is the best way to go right here for some egg rings. Another not really needed item, but something that could be fun to play with is these new scoops that Blackstone came out with. This is a smaller scoop that's available here at Walmart. So you've got the griddle scoop. It's kind of like a shovel for your griddle. Great for things like fried rice or um, like a stir fry or something like that, where you're going to have a lot of stuff to kind of pick up all at one time and dump onto a plate. So if you want one of those, that'd be great. Down on the bottom here, we've got some fun stuff. You've got a warming rack, which sits out on your griddle top like that. It actually expands to take up the whole length of like a 36-inch griddle top, almost the whole length, which is great for putting things like you see here, like the pancakes, or like as you cook bread and you toast it, or your buns and you toast them and you want to get them up off the heat, but you don't necessarily want them to get cold. You could set them up on the warming rack. If you're cooking a burger or some steak and you want it to stay warm and keep cooking, but you don't necessarily want it to burn the sear on the outside, you can put it up on the warming rack and let it continue to cook. Those are also pretty good to have. Over here, Blackstone's got their taco trays, which I have a couple of these just because I make so many tacos, and these are great for warming up your tortillas. You could sit your tortillas in there in the shape of the taco, and then you could just fill it straight there on the griddle. And so it's over there warming up your tortillas like you like to do, and then it also allows you to fill it really nicely because it's holding them open. We've also used it to flip things over on top and kind of let them cook so that it kind of gives you that taco shape. So these are a great accessory to have. I actually bought two of them because, I mean, it only holds six, and six tacos just isn't enough for my family. So if you get some of these, consider the size of your family. You may want more than one. Another accessory that I would say is pretty high on my list, is almost a must-have, is a basting dome. These are perfect for when you're like steaming vegetables, or if you're going to melt some cheese on your burgers. I like this really big wide one. I use it the most just because it will take up the whole width of the 36-inch from end to end. From there to there is the width of the 36-inch, so you can kind of set it in there and it takes up the whole width. And so that way you can do a whole bunch of burgers or a whole bunch of vegetables all at one time. But if you don't need something that big, they of course have the smaller basting dome, which also works really, really well for the same kind of thing. But I highly recommend getting one of these if you plan on doing a lot of melting of cheese or cooking vegetables or things like that. If you want to do any kind of steaming on the griddle top or anything, these are a must get. So if you're going to make burgers on the Blackstone, you're going to need some kind of smash burger press. And they have these griddle presses. I started with these when I started making my burgers and making things on the Blackstone. These are cast iron, kind of like your Blackstone top, where you kind of have to baby them. You need to season them. You got to be careful how you wash them. And they do tend to rust if you don't take care of them, or if you store them for a long period of time and kind of forget about them. They're really nice to have for like bacon. In fact, I would highly recommend, if you're going to do a lot of bacon, you think this really big one is nice because you could put almost a whole pack of bacon out on the griddle top and set that on top, and it'll flatten it down really nice to let that bacon crisp up. But when it comes to like smash burgers and things like that, I've actually gotten to where I don't use these hardly at all. And I've gone to where I go with my favorite burger press, which is actually part of this Press and Sear burger kit, and it's this press right here. You can't really see it in the package. This is the handle for it right here. But this, if you're going to do a lot of smash burgers or things like that, is the best griddle press. It's nice and flat, it's stainless steel, easy to clean, easy to wash, easy to use. So if you're looking for something for burgers, I highly recommend getting this burger press in this kit. This also comes with a burger spatula, which is unnecessary, but it's kind of nice to have just because it's a slightly wider spatula for those bigger burger patties. There are, of course, lots of other accessories to choose from here. Anything else I would say is just kind of a nice to have. I mean, they have things like this rechargeable griddle light, which I have, which is great to have. You've got some stabilizers here if you need that for where you're placing it. You've got some extra magnetized hooks that you can get. You have some storage totes and storage containers, which, of course, if you're going to get enough accessories, you're going to need somewhere to put it all. There is, of course, the cleaning kit, which I kind of feel like is a little unnecessary. You don't really need it, but you're welcome to get it if you feel like you want all those components, because you could get all those pieces separately like this. And then, of course, you come over this way. Blackstone has a series of their own seasonings that you can play around with. And then, of course, they have the different floor mats and or covers that you can get for your Blackstone. All right, folks, there you have it. Check out your local Walmart for all their Blackstone accessory needs. I hope this video kind of helped you out in making some decisions on which accessories to get right away and which ones that maybe you could wait on and just would be nice to have a little bit later. All right, till next time, thanks for watching.